So congratulations to Atletico Madrid. Wonderful, wonderful. They don't deserve the league, if you're asking me.
They deserve
my,
it.
my personal opinion. Wale, now you are being double-mouthed because he said nobody wanted to win the league last week. So
But again,
realistically, they don't deserve the league. This is a team where there was 10 points ahead at the points, had 2 outstanding games, and they have to get to the final day to win the league. Okay. If you say so,
can I chip in something?
Okay,
the truth is,
sure.
The league table never lies. The league table never lies.
I'm not doubting that.
If you end up winning your league, it means that over the course of 38 games, you have been the best team. That's just so. Congrats to Atletico. They will be the ones celebrating. They will be the ones celebrating at the Cibeles.
Kachi, respectfully, I don't agree. Shay, go ahead.
Yeah, if I may add something about this Spanish league for this season. Wale said something the other time about Real Madrid being a one-man team, or I think it was Debo talking about Benzema. Yeah. If you notice also this season that ended, it also looked as if without Messi, Barcelona couldn't do anything, right? Mm-hmm. If you go back to Atletico team that won the league this season, their midfielders, talking about Saul, Koke, Carrasco, Correa, they all contributed an average of 10 to 12 goals. Not only goals and assists. Yeah. So it showed that they actually played more like a team and they contributed around the team. And I think that's what set them apart.
Exactly. Thank you, Shay.
I agree with you. And like I said, I would respectfully disagree with you.
Now, you don't like the
point. Like I have my aversion for Simeone, but casting that aside, I don't think it makes sense for you to be
Debo,
like 10 points ahead at the point.
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
The
truth is this. Now, the truth is this.
So imagine Real Madrid won that game against was it Sevilla? That means Atletico will have won the league. Or
Debo,
hold on. Their game against, I think it was Levante, that Oblak saved that penalty. If VAR was active, right? Oblak was on this line. He should have been taking that penalty. Then I played 1-1.
Debo,
this looks like an
you are right in everything you are saying. You are right, but the question is this. If Real Madrid, eventually, let me say, won yesterday and Atletico Madrid drew or they lost, do you think Real Madrid will have been a worthy winner of the league?
No.
Do you think Barcelona will have been a worthy winner of the league?
No. I agree with you. Nobody wanted to win.
Now, this is my own point. Last week I said nobody was interested in winning the league.
Why
not? In any other year, Atletico Madrid will not win the league. In any other year.
Exactly.
We all know, I think right from the beginning of the season, if there is something probably I have gotten right, or we've all gotten right, is that Real Madrid team is a very poor team. For everything they've done this season, I think they overachieved. In the sense of it, 100%. They overachieved. Getting to the semifinal of the Champions League, for me, was an overachievement. Looking at how probably average, I don't want to use the word poor, looking at how average that their squad is. Toni Kroos has passed it.
Yeah.
Like you said, Luka Modric is no longer is an element. Outside Karim Benzema, there is nobody that you could say it's a big threat up front. Asensio is a bit disappointing to me, but I think because seeing him in 2017, I expected him to have probably taken over this team by now.
Yeah,
but again, probably due to the injury he had some couple of years ago. So, but if you look at Atletico Madrid, they started very well. By January, we've all given them the league.
Exactly. We said it over and over and over on
before
this show.
The temporary capitulation.
Exactly.
Before they started dropping form and dropping points. But where you still give it to them is in a very decent league, or if Real Madrid and Barcelona were decent team, Atletico Madrid they've done enough to hand over the league. none of them were able to capitalize on Atletico Madrid poor form. So on the balance of it, yes, in some like I normally said, if you look at United team that won the league in 2011, in any other year, that team will not win the league. That team will not win the league. So it happens. Fine, they might not have probably won the league when you compare it to some other years we've had. But if you look at what we have, probably the teams, the performance of other teams too, they still remain arguably the best among the rest.
Yeah. I would grudgingly agree with you, but I still stand by my point. Anyways, they won the league. Congratulations to them. But like you said, you pointed it out on another season, they wouldn't have won the league, given the rash inconsistency. Anyways, from there to a more positive news. Robert Lewandowski, I know we spoke about him last week. Broke the record of Gerd Müller. This guy is, but come think of it. Olayinka, I'll ask you this question. It looks like we don't appreciate Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo so much. They played in Spain, right? I think Ronaldo scored the best season of Ronaldo. I think he had 42 goals with Manchester United. I think 32 in the league and a couple in the Champions League. But these guys have consistently scored over 40 goals in the Spanish La Liga. Now suddenly we're echoing the sentiment for Robert Lewandowski scoring 40 goals, if I'm not mistaken, or 41 goals in the Farmers League. But Ronaldo and Messi have done this over and over and over again in the more established, more competitive league in form of Spain. I'm not trying to say no disrespect to Robert, no disrespect, but I'm just saying, is it like we don't appreciate Messi and Ronaldo enough? They made it a norm. They made it a norm. Like it's normal for you to score 40 goals in the season or more, or sometimes 53. I think Ronaldo has scored 53 goals before in a season in the league, not overall. If I'm not mistaken, correct me, guys, if I'm wrong.
I think that's not competition.
No competition, but he has scored constantly over 43 goals.
Yeah, I think Messi and Ronaldo. I think there was a year in the calendar year, Messi scored, I think
91 goals. 91.
Yeah, 91. In the calendar year,
yeah. It broke Gerd Müller's record as well. But is it like we don't appreciate them enough, Olayinka? Like they made it they made it normal. And now we're just talking about
the truth of the matter, Debo.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you short. The truth of the matter is when the reward of good work is more work.
Oh, true that. Yeah, true that.
The Nigerians will call it see finish.
Yeah,
true
that.
I mean, these two players that you just mentioned, Messi and CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo, they are exceptional athletes. They are people that you just expect the best from them every time. And you still have to give it to them up till today. I mean, CR7, he ended the season with 29 goals. I mean, that's a fantastic record by all reckoning.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of public sympathy for Robert Lewandowski. You know, they believe that he should be the one that should have broken the monopoly of Messi and CR7 in winning European titles. Ballon d'Or, yeah. And right now, everything he does, no matter everything he does now will be seen as special.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because
I get you now.
It's a public sympathy. So they'll always bring out what he's done. They'll always explode what he does.
Yeah.
But you have to give it to him as well. 41 goals in a season, it is exceptional.
And given that he had injuries during the season.
There was a period he didn't play.
Yeah.
That goes to show how formidable a footballer is. And although age is not on his side, and I don't think he might repeat this. However, you need to commend him and consider him as one of the greatest players to have played.
Maybe if Louis was available, PSG would not have disgraced us against Manchester.
No doubt about it. He was a major factor in that match. I mean, I wanted him to play. I wanted him to get out of that injury state and play, because Lewandowski is one of the most complete top strikers that you have in modern day football. He's one of the most complete I've seen in a long time. I mean, he defends, he scores with both feet. He scores with his head. He's so complete. He plays for the team.
If we look back, circle back a little bit, right? Let's go back to the Borussia Dortmund. Lewis came from Poland. He was the third striker in that team. He wasn't even the second striker. He wasn't even the second striker. And I forgot the guy's name. He got injury. The second guy left. What? Sorry?
There is an Barrios or something like that.
Barrios, Washiri. Yeah, Barrios. Barrios is the name of the guy. Yeah, Lucas Barrios. Yeah. So he came in and suddenly he still remains the only guy to score 4 goals. 4 goals in the Champions League against Real Madrid.
Just like our normal day life. Yeah. That's how things happen in football. It was about leaving the club.
Yeah,
it was about leaving the club
for Blackburn Rovers.
We've seen some of these things repeating themselves. Luis Figo almost joined, was it Manchester City of 1991-92? I'm not talking Manchester City of today. That's to show his desperation. Mm-hmm. We've seen this scenario. We've seen a lot of things like that. Players, you think like, oh, this guy can't make it in this team. Ashley Cole was coming from the academy. He doesn't have any business in the Arsenal team. What happened? Sevinho had sustained a nasty injury. There was no backup. Asavenga doesn't have any other choice than to call upon that boy from the reserves team. And he took the chances and he never looked back. So we've seen things like this happen in football. Like you said, it wasn't the top number 1, number 2, what do you call it, option at Borussia Dortmund. But when he got his chances, he was ready, and that's a lesson for most footballers. You need to be ready. You don't have to suck on the bench, even when you think you deserve to play. You have to be ready on the day, all the night. You are called upon to play. You need to show up so that.
All right. Thank you very much. And from that, we'll move to Italy. Like I said, congratulations to Kachi. AC Milan won against Atalanta. 2-0, qualifying for the Champions League. Something Arsenal have not been able to do in 3 or 4 seasons. Now, I'm still counting, so good one for Milan. And Napoli versus Verona. Napoli could not win. All they needed was us to win and keep Juventus in the Europa League. Shane, Gattuso has done a wonderful job. But how disappointed do you think his eccentric president will be on Sunday after that loss of going into the Champions League and making the big money?
Yeah, I think very disappointed, especially when you just have that last lap to just cross over the line and get into the Champions League. Exactly. Everybody already predicted it to most likely be Juventus going into the Europa League. Mm-hmm. But to be sincere, that match, they were second to best in that particular match. They played as if there is no, there was no urge, yes. Nothing at stake. They were lucky to go ahead, and before you know it, they still considered and they chased the winner from then on. They couldn't get it because in the first place they were never in the game from the beginning.
It's a big disappointment for.
It's a big disappointment. They have to just pick themselves up, look at next season and see what they can achieve.
Okay.
Yes.
Olayinka, I just want to ask you a question about this, and is the fact that Ronaldo was left on the bench for Juventus last game. It was removed against I believe Inter Milan, where they won controversially. Does this look like Juve is trying to move away from Ronaldo, or it's just end of the season syndrome?
Yeah, well, I think Ronaldo, like I said earlier on, he has clocked he clocked 29 goals in this season, and I think that's a good return by all standards for someone of that age and in that league. Being on the bench for this match, I think it had to do with the formation that the coach wanted to play. I guess he wanted a seasoned footballer, an experienced footballer who could read the game from the bench and come on in and do the damage. However, I guess that was why he kept Ronaldo there, although eventually he didn't play. Yeah. When you look at the formation that he utilized, it was the 4-4-2-1. He had to.
That's why he's been playing all season. Ronaldo been starting up front, along with either Morata
or yeah. But I guess this in the match, he decided to trust Dybala and Morata. That was why he put them up front. And it paid off. Morata, he's been disgruntled all season, and I think the hunger that he brought into the match actually paid off. And I mean, Juve were better for it with 4 goals, with Alvaro scoring a couple of goals.
Yeah.
Rabiot putting in 1, and Chiesa, who I believe is the revelation of this season. Yeah, I believe is the revelation, and also 100%. Put in a goal. So I think it was more of a tactical issue, not necessarily any acrimonious thing happening. I think Chelsea will be there next season.
I will not agree. I don't agree with that. Anyways, and the reason why I don't is because he has been playing the same formation all season.
Exactly.
And
they need to win.
Yeah, and I'm against that formation. For me, I feel the best you will see of Ronaldo is playing far left from a 4-3-3 formation.
I don't think he has the pace again. I don't think he has that pace again that he had.
Hold on. Just 1 sec. Like that's why I feel I stand to be corrected. We're seeing it. Ronaldo is not going to stay on the left. He doesn't need the pace. What he needs to do he needs to use the space to score the goals. Ronaldo does not need the pace again. He needs.
You're 100% right, Debo. I think there is a bit of misconception. I think most coaches, especially probably started with Sarri, now with Pello. I think they just carried away with the number of goals
that Ronaldo
scored. And probably think they can deploy him as a center forward. That's not his natural destiny. Ronaldo will not really play with his back facing the goal.
Exactly.
Like you said, even at Real Madrid, we've seen Ronaldo losing that a bit of yard of space. It wasn't that pacey Ronaldo that we knew when he initially joined, or the one that was in United. He hardly does all this step over again.
Yeah.
But like you said, he makes use of the space. He creates chances for himself. He doesn't do much running. He will not track back. So he saves a lot of his energy and focus on just goal scoring from that left side.
That's the thing.
Kachi, that would be my next question to Kachi. And is it safe to say, Kachi, that with the formation that Pello played on Sunday, if he had kept Ronaldo out of the team, I know myself and Wale, we don't usually see eye to eye, but at least we agree on something today. But if he kept Ronaldo out of the team and played his Dybala, Morata as the strikers, Dybala playing off Morata or any other striker, Chiesa playing to the left, whoever on the right, blah blah blah, would they have had a better season? And does it look like Juventus will look better without Ronaldo?
To answer the first question, I don't think they would have had a better season because I think Pelo's biggest challenge was in man management, right? He really couldn't manage the numerous ego that was in place in Juventus. I read somewhere a few days ago about how he was probably the first Juventus coach who had never coached anywhere else. So I think he was too set. He was too rigid in using that particular formation.
Exactly.
That he wouldn't have even if he had used those all 38 games.
Yeah.
The in-game, and we said this about Gerhard Rohr, the coach of the Nigerian Super Eagles, that in-game decision, seeing the game from the sideline and making spot changes is probably one of his biggest issues. So even if he had gone with the same with the same formation, and teams managed to figure him out by week 10 or week 11, it would have been difficult to even win with the same players.
Okay.
Going to the Ronaldo issue, I think it was purely punitive because Ronaldo, don't forget, Ronaldo skipped training to go with the Agnelli family to Ferrari, where he was gifted a new Ferrari worth over $1 million.
Oh, wow.
And and Pirlo needed to pass a message because the feelers we got was that the players were angry that in a week when they needed to stay focused to likely win and qualify for the Champions League, Ronaldo was used for publicity. So Pirlo just needed to pass that message.
Okay.
Secondly, and I agree with Wale on this, that and you, even though I also don't agree with you, I agree with Wale on this, that what Ronaldo really needs is the space and not necessarily the position. It doesn't need to be an out-and-out center forward like Robert Lewandowski will do.
It can be. Ronaldo doesn't like it.
One question on whether he would remain with Juventus. I think right now his wage bill is so high and Ronaldo's ego is still so high that playing for any team that is not competing
would be a problem.
Very difficult.
Okay. All right.
He will stay, but let me put it on record that if he will go, it will only be because Mbappe leaves for PSG and Ronaldo replaces him in PSG.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you very much for that. And of course, Lille won against Angers 2-1. Neymar lost a penalty, but they did eventually win against Brest 2-0. Congratulations to Lille for winning the league. Imagine Burak Yilmaz being your top striker. You know,
awesome.
After defrauding Arsenal with Pepe for 72 million pounds.
They brought him on a free.
They did a comeback, which is a great one. Congratulations to Lille. Good next time out for PSG. And to England, we don't have so much time again. The MVP for Chelsea have to be Gareth Bale. Came in, scored 2 wonderful goals. Chelsea on their part decided not to come for the party and they lost against Aston Villa. Like, I don't understand why I don't know. The intensity was not high until later in the game. This is imagine it's a big if anyways. Leicester City actually won against Spurs. That means Chelsea probably will not qualify the Champions League. And all the good work TT has done will be undone. You know, it's a bad one. And Spurs, congratulations to Spurs as well. Arsenal will not be celebrating the St. Tottenham Day this year, and they will be the first representative of England in the Europa Conference tournament. They are bringing up the Europa Conference tournament so we have 3 competitions next season. We'll have the Champions League, the Europa League, and Europa Conference League. So Tottenham will be the first representative of England in that competition by way of their 7th place position. And of course, Olale, Pep Guardiola was crying, you know. It was the one that said Sergio Aguero away, you know, and he's crying like Sergio, like, and he refused to. I'm not trying to be petty here. I know we don't have so much time. We have like 3 minutes left. But it was not to be. I'm being petty anyways. But he refused to mention Yaya Touré's name when he was talking about the guys that built City. You know, he mentioned
Silva, David
he
Silva.
mentioned David Silva and someone else. But for some strange reason, Yaya that actually brought City to the limelight was not mentioned, and it was crying. Was that tears of joy or
I think that is just for the camera. Let me take you back to, no. On a more serious note, let me take you back to 2016, summer of 2016, when Pep Guardiola joined City. The first thing Pep Guardiola did was to sign Gabriel Jesus. Even though he couldn't join them that summer, he joined them in January. The last kept secret in the world was the fact that Pep Guardiola was actually searching for a replacement for Sergio Aguero right from the point that he joined. Immediately, Gabriel Jesus arrived in January. The first 6 or 8 matches, you can go back, Sergio Aguero dropped to the bench. I think it was only in the Champions League match against Monaco that it started. Now, by the start of the following season, probably during the preseason and some other things, it was very obvious that Gabriel was actually very good, but he wasn't better than Sergio Aguero. The first game against Brighton over on Albion, Pep Guardiola switched to a 3-5-2 formation to accommodate the two of them up front. But as the course of the season was going, because of the likes of, you can't have players like Roysani on the bench, Mahrez, Sterling, and some other players like that. Yeah. And you keep using, because the problem with 3-5-2 is you're not playing with wingers. So I think that probably made him to change his mind. I think Aguero was more of a necessary evil for Pep Guardiola over his period at City, and that was why he was very quick to drop him on the bench. Even though, if this is as much as we want to say Aguero wasn't fit, I don't think its fitness level was that bad for him not to have gotten more playing times than what he eventually did.
All right, perfect. And so Kuhn scored 2 goals on Sunday and made him the highest goal scorer for a particular club in the history of
club.
184 goals. One ahead of
awesome.
The enigmatic Wayne Rooney. And of course, Manchester United won away to Wolves, making them the 4th team in the history of EPL to go whole season unbeaten away from home. Kudos to Manchester United. Kudos to Bruno Fernandes, their best player. Kudos to the much maligned Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. Brought them back to the map. They are currently in the Europa League final as well, which is a very great one, if you ask me. And of course, from the fillers that we had right now, Kuhn is going to be moving to Barcelona. He's going to be signing immediately after the Champions League final. Fillers from Camp Nou says Messi will be staying in Barcelona as well, which is on the flip side a bad news, and on the flip side a good news as well for the Barcelona faithful. And of course, for the inducted Hall of Famers into the Premier League Hall of Fame, we have Eric Cantona, Roy Keane, David Beckham, Dennis Bergkamp, Frank Lampard, and Steven Gerrard. Roy Keane, okay. And of course, we'll be doing a very nice one on our show. Ensure that you follow all our handles on social media at News Instanta, on Instagram at News Instanta1, on Twitter, News Instanta, on Facebook. We'll be doing a giveaway actually. So what you have to do is send a DM to the Instagram IG or on Twitter or Facebook, either of the three, what you think the scoreline will be between the two teams, and you could win yourself a branded jersey of your choice. Ensure that you follow us, everyone, at Kachi, Shay. We'll be putting all that on our social media handles, so you guys can follow everybody and send in your predictions. And if you win, you'll be winning yourself a branded jersey of a club of your choosing. And that's the wrap, and that's the show. Thank you very much, guys. Been wonderful talking to you. And till next week, where we'll be discussing football again and other sports. Keep safe.